this simple video, I'll show you how to create a simple custom scrollbar on your website. But before we talk about a scrollbar, I'd like to show you a simple demo on what you're going to be creating. As you can see on this web page, we have a simple scrollbar on our right hand side, and you can see it's having that teal color and some inset box shadow around this track area, and I'm going to explain the different areas of a scrollbar in this video. You can see it's not the usual scrollbar that you always see on web pages, and by default the browser provides this scrollbar that you're seeing. So what we are handling right now is called the scrollbar thumb, or the handle that we are dragging around, and the place where it is moving from is called the scrollbar track or track area. And I'm going to be explaining every area on the scrollbar, and in the end we shall be having this, our custom scrollbar. So stick around if it's the tutorial that you need to watch. I'm going to refresh this page and we lose everything because we are going to be starting from scratch. Now I have created a simple file. So index2 is what you're seeing here, the normal scrollbar. So that's why I created that. Then the file that we are going to be using, it's index.html. So I'm just going to write HTML, and I place tab. And as I said in my previous tutorials, have an extension called emit. So you just write HTML tab and they give you the boilerplate for HTML. So in the title, I'm just going to write custom scrollbar. Save that. Then I'm going to create a div with a class of container. I'm going to tell you what it does. So I want my content to be somehow centered in the middle. Container, and I have a paragraph that I copied, so it's saved on my clipboard. I'm just going to paste. So it's an H1 and a paragraph. If you have to save this and preview it in the browser, so we're having that. So I want to add a lot of paragraphs so that we get that feel of a page that is scrollable. So I'm just going to copy this paragraph, several times so that we get that feel of a page being scrollable when the user visits it. So I'm just going to save this and preview it in the browser. So the moment we have this, now that's okay because we can start working on the scrollbar. So the reason why I created a div with a class of container, I want our content to be somehow centered in the middle, and to do that I have a file here. It's called style.css and it's empty. So I'm going to link it in our head section, link, and place tab. As I said, I have emit, and I write style.css. So right this side, I will start by selecting the body. I like removing the margin of the body 0 and padding 0. So there will be a slight change. If you see, if we are to refresh, you'll see some slight change there. Then let us target our container. I deal with the class of container, and I will start by giving it a margin of 0 auto and set the width to 60%. 60%. Refresh the page, and that's what we are having. So I guess it looks better right now. Let us start working on our scrollbar. And to work on the scrollbar, we shall first use these pseudo selectors. So they are double full colons, so those ones. Then we write a prefix called a WebKit, and we target the scrollbar. The first thing we are going to do is target the width, so you can control the width of a scrollbar on your page. And to do that, we are just going to first set a width of 15 pixels. If you are to go back and refresh, it's going to first get lost. So right now we have targeted it and we have just specified the width. There's no background, there's no anything. So right now, at least we have access to the width of that scroll bar. The next thing we are going to do, we are going to track the area where it moves from. So the track area, the one you saw here. Let me take you to this normal scroll bar. So this area where it moves, it's called the track or the track area. So we are going to use those double colons, the pseudo selectors. Then we use this prefix of WebKit and we say scroll bar track. So you write track, not track area, but it's a track area, but what the property that you need to use is called a track. And we are going to specify the background. Sorry, we are going to create a box shadow around that track area. So we are going to say box shadow, and we are going to use inset as the value, and we shall target 0, 0, 5 pixels. Then I'm going to use my custom color that I created on the site. It's 00, if I'm to remember, 796B. So it's an hexadecimal color. Oh, I have to refresh this. Refresh, and we're having that. As you can see, our track area is visible now. I've given it that box shadow of inset and set 0, 0, 5 pixels and the teal color that I'm using on my website. So you can choose any color, you can write red, anything that you feel like. So this is what I've decided to use. So I have access to that track area where the scroll bar moves from. Then let us target the scroll bar itself or the handle. So write that prefix WebKit, then write scroll bar, then we use thumb. So it's called a thumb, or you can call it a handle, but the property that you need to select is called a thumb. And for that we are going to use a background color, background, or you can write background, and I'm going to use the same hexadecimal color that I used there, or value. Let us refresh this, and this is what we are having. So we have that dark teal color. You can see how very simple it is. Let me just comment here. Width. So we shall just say here we are setting the width, and here we are working on the track area, and here let's try to scroll up, and here we're working on the handle that the user handles when he's scrolling on the page. So this is the handle. So as you can see that you can easily customize your scroll bar with those few lines of code. So this is our custom scroll bar. You can also set an hover state on the thumb. So we can also pick another pseudo selector there, WebKit as a prefix. Then we say thumb. Then we use this hover or pseudo class of hover, and we say background. And I'm just going to use a dark hexadecimal of that teal color. Value of that teal color, it's 006 D6, if I'm to remember, 0. So going to be, I'm just using the values that I use on my website. As you can see, I get a dark teal color. So when the user hovers over it, so as you can see, there is something missing, and it's going to be like your side work that you're going to be working on. As you can see, the default scroll bar, it has these buttons. As you can see, you can click the buttons without using a scroll bar. And I'm just going to give you a property that you can use, but to add these icons, I want you to try it out by yourselves. So to do that, there is another selector that we can specify, and we use these for columns, the DAO for columns. We use this prefix of WebKit, and we say scroll bar dash button, and I'm going to set their background to a color that you can see, and I'm just going to say red. So if you are to refresh this page, you're going to see red at the top and at the bottom. As you can see, the buttons, as you can see, when I click the red, we get that. So go out, search, and see how you can add these icons on the scroll bar for it to work. So guys, if this tutorial was useful to you, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the video, if possible share it on different social medias with your friends who are starting in web development, and I will always see you in the next tutorial. So you can see how very simple it is. You can specify the width. As you can see here, we can take it to 10, and we get that. So guys, subscribe to the channel once again if you think this tutorial has been helpful to you. Peace. See you next time.